background of HPCP, and with that as a background, we keep on doing this kind of activities, bringing our insights and experiences from corporate world. And Since we interact with multiple senior middle management professionals, what has helped people, what has not helped people, and trying to get gist of experiences from multiple people at middle management and leadership level, having seen journeys of few hundred, yeah, maybe a few thousand people growing from management trainee to senior leadership roles. We try and bring experiences and share learnings with a larger lot of people for benefit for everybody. So that's the whole idea and objective of purpose of this webinars. Now, the construct of the webinar for today, the way we'll do is I'll try and take you through some broad areas for first 60-65 minutes, and last 20-25 minutes we'll have open for Q&A. While I'm taking you through, if any one of you is having comments, yeah, any points to be made, we'll happy to uh, have your contribution. And if anybody is having any questions, we'll happy to address those questions also. Uh, so we'll see how much we can we cover. While we have around 14-15 slides, let us see if we can cover all and do justice to this topic. Yeah. So today's topic is on stress management, and how do you really manage stress, and how do you handle stress. Now, if you look at general evolution of humanity, in earlier days people were much more happy because needs were less, and there were lesser complications. And as we have evolved as human beings, emotionally we have evolved, mentally we have evolved, and with mental evolvement and emotional evolvement, and with innovation of technology, and we progressing as humanity as a race, uh, we have it has also led to some downside, yeah, pitfalls. uh, and stress is one of those things which we have built as humanity over a period of time. But if you look at other living organisms, I'm not sure, very difficult to test, but other living organisms, whether they have this piece of stress or not, I mean, they're all happy-go-lucky. They're not worried so much. They're not thinking of what is beyond today. So stress nowadays is a part of life. I mean, a part of professional life and part of personal life. It is given. I mean, stress. If anybody is saying he or she is not having stress, then obviously I will tend to disagree. Different people will have different level of stress. Different people's ability to deal with stress will be at a different level, and hence the way people handle stress will vary from situation to situation and from individual to individual. Now, why does stress happen? I mean, if you really look at why does stress emanate, yeah, where does the stress start? It is largely because expectations, we have expectations from ourselves, from our family, from our juniors, from our seniors, and those expectations are not met. And when expectations are not met, there's a dissatisfaction. And when there's a dissatisfaction, you try to correct the situation and achieve things which have not happened. At times those things happen, at times those things don't happen. There are different reasons why they don't happen, and that dissatisfaction and emotional exchanges which happen with different set of people, whether family, professional, senior, juniors, that leads to different kind of interactions. And the way we handle our own emotions and the way we handle our different interactions leads to stress. It's largely a situation wherein emotionally you are at a stage wherein you're not happy, you're not feeling in your control. And when you're not happy, you're not feeling in your control, then it obviously further deteriorates your capability and your ability to solve the situations. And then it further complicates the situation. So that's largely broadly stress. Ravi can keep on shifting the slides as we go ahead. Now, if you look at different people have different objectives in life, and certain people take very aggressive objectives, and they're very aggressive and driven, and that aggressive objectives build positive energy into them. They convert that aggressive objective into positive energy, so to say positive stress. Typically this is very high in entrepreneurs. uh, Typically this is also very high on sports person, successful sports person. They keep themselves stretched objectives, stretched targets, and convert that into motivation to bring in a very sharp focus, and which pushes them to perform more and more. The other side of it is people who have negative stress, which actually leads to sapping the energy. People have been given aggressive targets, aggressive objectives, either to your child to score a first rank all India, yeah, to score a certain percentage in school, or at your junior level, expecting the person to achieve a market share, yeah, achieve a target which has been given. And similarly, seniors expect from you, and you also at times have expectations from seniors. But when these are stretched expectations, these stretched expectations put stress on both sides, on the individual who's given the target and individual who's to supposed to achieve that objective. Now this negative stress happens when the individual is not most of the times convinced on the objective or target which is given. So the person is putting all his best. I mean, that also varies. Not necessarily all people will put in their best, but there are also a good number of people who will put in their best, but they feel the target, a task, a objective which is given to them is actually too much beyond their capacity, and they are struggling to achieve it. And when they are struggling to achieve it, then it leads to different kinds of interactions amongst all set of peoples, leads to burnout, leads to health issues, leads to conflicts. My understanding is in today's world, majority of professionals are having negative stress. And it is not only professionals, even in families. If you look at youngsters, I mean, you typically have children at the age of 10, 12 years also having stress. I mean, earlier days there were no counselors in schools, but nowadays most of the schools are having counselors, because uh, I mean, it is observed that a lot of students, a lot of young children are also going through stress. And obviously people are in their teenage, yeah, early 20s, yeah, late 40s, yeah, late 30s. Good number of them are having stress. Now each of them is having their own mechanism, but if you look at the services which are offered for stress management by counselors, yeah, by psychologists, obviously very clearly there are indications that this is on rise, and number of people who taking professional help also has gone up. In earlier days people were not able to understand and accept it, but I think that acceptance that I am stressed and I need a professional help, that also is nowadays seen that is on rise, and more people are coming forward. But people who are coming forward to take professional help, that still is a very limited fraction and very small number. Good number of them typically deal with their own understanding, yeah, try and take help at times, very few times, of some known people, yeah, friends, but that largely they try and deal with themselves. And as a result, you see larger amount of people, when they are stressed, they are unhappy, and when they are in this situation, they are not able to give their best. They are potential people, they are capable people, but they are not able to really achieve their potential. Ravi, you can go to the next slide. Now, what is happening? Let us understand why this is all happening, and what is happening in macro environment, what is happening in micro environment. So, globally, there's competition. Geopolitical shifts are happening now. In last 1 2 years, the shift is happening much more rapidly. The current situation, globally, global economic powers, how they are behaving with each other. uh, there are wars, there are tariffs, and while these geopolitical shifts are happening, it is also leading to a lot of economic uncertainty. Tariffs are increased. Textile workers, yeah, textile as an industry is going for a toss because most of it was exports. Technology innovations are happening. AI is happening. Country like India, for last 30, 40 years, software as an industry was giving huge number of opportunities for all the engineers. India is having roughly 14 to 15 lakhs of engineers coming out every year. And most of these engineers were employed by software companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and like Accenture. Each of these companies having 4, 5, 6 lakhs employees. And the current disruption which is happening with technology and AI, this is going to definitely change the world because ChatGPT 5, and I'm sure most of you would have started using ChatGPT. The coding piece, which 80% of these people were employed for coding, that is done now going to be done by technology. Already these software companies have stopped hiring juniors. You see them announcing downsizing. So in next 3, 4 years, good number of people who are in these jobs, who are into lower level jobs of coding, their overall job security, yeah, kind of jobs, whether they'll remain or not, question mark. So technology disruptions are bringing in job losses. They are bringing in new opportunities, new possibilities. As a country, currently, while we are still not, we are considered to be one of the largest country on the earth. But you look at currently the way situation is, 15% of girls and boys who are in the age group of 28 to 35. Now the marriage age actually has shifted from 25, 26 to 31, 32, 33. And people who are in marriageable age, 15% of them are not wanting to get married. People who are getting married, 15% of them don't want to have kids. And people who are getting married and settling down, they are at best having one child. Very, very few people are having two children. And this is not only in metros, even if you go to smaller towns and villages, scenario is very equally, it's more like a mirror image. Reasons might be different there. Like in villages, girls don't want to marry a zamindar because she doesn't want to stay in a village. But in villages also, there are people, boys who are in agriculture, farming, 15% of them are not able to get married. So looking at what is happening currently in India, while we currently are talking about having young population as an advantage, but that advantage might at best last with us for maybe 10, 15 years. Beyond that, we are soon going to be an aging economy. And with aging, we being aging economy, obviously it will add to further complications on individual's life, family life, and also the economy and future for each one of us. Yeah, Ravi, we can go to the next slide. So broadly, if you look at stress, is not necessarily only based on the individual situation. There are also a lot of situations which are beyond control of an individual, and it might lead to stress. For example, software engineers today who are having jobs, they might be doing their job beautifully, but if there's a technology disruption and if they are going to lose jobs, obviously it is going to lead to stress to them. Look at the micro environment. I mean, earlier there was no work from home. Now there's work from home. Now, work from home also has a disadvantage of putting pressure at a family level. While on one hand, it's an advantage, it also lead in place like Bombay when you have work from home opportunity. If you don't have enough space, it can lead to privacy challenges. Look at earlier we were not having internet connectivity. Now with internet connectivity, while AI and technology can help us, it also leads to a situation wherein each one of us is spending most of our time on small screen. The screen time has dramatically gone up. Social interaction has dramatically gone down. Within families, there are family members sitting on a dining table and they're not talking, they're having their food. Go to villages, even in villages, there are people who are now on small screen rather than sitting in groups and having social interaction or social functions. So technology, on one hand, it is enabling. On other hand, it is also having side effect, like almost leading to isolation of people. connectivity is helping people, but at individual level, people are actually getting isolated emotionally. And then obviously, then beyond that, there's urbanization, urban lifestyle, the gap between rich and poor, richer people, the way are handling themselves. Today's youngster, millennials, people who are from well-to-do families. Earlier days, I mean, we interact with a lot of MBA young students. Their approach and attitude towards life was very different. And today, in 3-4 years of gap, you feel there's a change in attitude of people. Most of the people who are from with disposable incomes going up, most of the educated students who are doing MBA, their ability to face challenges, their willingness to go through that rough ride is declining big time. They want everything ready, easily available, access easily. There's easy access to things. There are situations, I'm telling you, there are situations wherein people get into situation, even if the organization or boss doesn't sanction the leave, they're resigning. If boss is having a tough discussion, difficult discussion, they're immediately resigning. Now, why is it happening? Because even at a family level micro environment, they have grown up as a single child. Their flexibility, adaptability of a child has gone down dramatically. Their ability to fail and bounce back from failure has gone down dramatically. Today's world is instant gratification. I mean, earlier there used to be TV advertisements of 60 seconds. It came down to 45 seconds, 35 seconds, 15 seconds. Nowadays, you have a story, a reel, which is of 15 seconds. So everybody wants things instantaneously, immediate, instant satisfaction. So that's how today's world is. And on other hand, as I said, while internet and technology should allow us to connect beautifully to each other, but it is actually leading to an isolation because you are living in your virtual world. Joint family structure has collapsed. Very rarely you find parents and next level of family members staying together. You are not having a sibling. Your interaction with cousins and larger family is not there. You very rarely have true friends with whom you can open your heart. So support system is actually shrinking, and good number of times people are actually dealing with their own challenges in isolation and then struggling big time. And when you're dealing with yourself in isolation and not extending, you're not going for support outside, obviously then it is leading to stress, and a continuous stress then further will lead to a chronic stress. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Yeah, this I covered. Joint families are no more there. Nuclear families leading to limited support. Single child, then ability to deal with failures, yeah, flexibility, ability to share with people. Community relationships are no more existing. Places like Bombay, you know, don't know what is happening in next door flat. In earlier small chawl systems, people were knowing each and everything which is happening in other families. So that domestic, local, family level, immediate social circle level support systems, because of the change in value system, are changing. People are not going out and reaching out to people. So overall relationships in family system, family as an institution and society are evolving to such a level that socio-economic fabric on values and ethics is changing big time, and there's tectonic shift which is happening. So while we are becoming more techno savvy, but are we really being happy is a big question mark. Uh, I see families not having good relationship with their own children, parents, near and dear ones. Emotional well-being is big time compromised. So that is the state where we are currently on family side. Now, if you look at the corporate side, Ravi, you can go to the next slide. Now, if you look at the corporate world, now there, I'm sure you must be reading news. A good number of times, CEOs of very large companies are getting. Earlier, a CEO used to last for 8-10 years. He used to become a CEO at a age of 50, 55, and he would last for another 10 years. Last 8, 9 years, 10 years, if you see, CEO people become CEOs. Everybody wants to become a business head or a CEO. At a 40, 45, if somebody is not becoming a business head or a CEO at 40, 45, he's stressed. When people become CEOs at 40, 45, they are not lasting for 10, 12, 15 years. Every 2, 3 years, larger companies, there's a change in leadership. And this is happening in best of the managed companies also. Very, very few companies, like maybe in India, I can name Aditya Birla Group, where there's consistency and people last for a long time. But even if you have a company like, say, HUL or, say, for example, Nestle, also global CEO, after he taking over as a CEO, in 2 years, he was asked to move. Now, he was a lifer in the company, but I mean, because of some alleged relationship. Now, the individual, look at his emotional well-being. He got into a relationship, and that's part of emotional well-being. So CEOs, MDs of very large corporations are, I mean, no more lasting more than 3, 4, 5 years, because every company, shareholders, business owners are expecting results quarter on quarter. So it has become more short term, quarter to quarter. Now, in any business, if the focus is on a quarter, then approach, people are not looking long term. People are focusing on what is required for shareholders profitably in top line. They are not willing to take tough calls. They are not willing to take difficult calls. In this kind of approach and this kind of situation, then obviously the expectations, in the shortest period you have to show success, in shortest period you have to show results, and then obviously it leads to a situation which is quite stressful for all the people involved, right from CEOs to below down the line, right up to executive or junior most person. Board members of different boards, are they really playing a role? So, and everybody is in a race. Everybody is in a race. Look at the younger population. As I said, I mean, the younger population, the way they are coming and taking up jobs, most of the boys and girls who are below 31, 32, immediately after they're studying in first 5, 6 years, you see them changing at least 4, 5 jobs. In first 5 years, 80, 90% of youngsters are changing at least 4, 5 jobs. Why is it happening? Because it indicates lack of clarity at an individual level. It also look at the academic institutes. Academic institutes are ensuring jobs, but are they really ensuring jobs where these people can do well? No, because academic institutes want to show 100% placement, want to charge more and more fees. So it's all chain reaction. And all because of all this chain reaction, instant, fast results, wanting to do things much faster than what it actually practically can happen, it is leading to a lot of pressures at different levels, leading to different kinds of emotional discussions, because each individual is himself going through emotional upheaval. And if patience levels are not there, emotional levels are, people are not at best, then it leads to a toxic urgency kind of a culture, which actually then further puts. So we are into a vicious cycle. And this is happening, as we saw in the earlier slide, at a personal level. This is also happening at a corporate level. Now, for an individual, for a professional, I mean, it's very difficult to separate personal life and professional life. I have seen whatever happens in personal life definitely impacts professional life and vice versa. I have seen many professionals very successful on professional side, but a very small percentage of them are really happy, and they can confidently say that they are happy and successful at a personal level. People have been CEOs, MDs, business head, or whatever middle management, they are earning salaries above 1 crore, 2 crores, 3 crores, 5 crores. But of that, I can tell you confidently that less than 10% really say that my family life is also equally good and I'm really happy on family side. So both things are very connected, because we as human being are same person, same personality, dealing at a family level and dealing with corporate world also. We can go to the next slide, Ravi. Now, what is it leading to? On a professional side, what is it leading to? Because you are stressed, you're not happy in jobs. And when you're not happy in jobs, then in one job you're not happy, then you will try and shift to other job. When you're wanting to change to other job, very rarely people do enough research about whether this is the right company, right culture. Should I shift? Should I not? Is there any better option for me in the company? Yeah, how do I build better relationship with the current organization? How do I not shift and manage my career in the current organization, all those thoughts people are not applying. The moment they are not happy, they realize, yeah, I'm not happy, I should move from here. And when I'm moving from one organization to other organization, objective is to move to other organization. They are not really assessing, am I really moving from a not so good organization to a better organization? Will that organization where I'm moving really add value to my life? Will I be happy in that organization? Am I having right culture in the organization? I might have a reason to move from this organization because expectations are unrealistic. But am I understanding in the new place where I'm going? Is the organization having realistic expectation? Do they respect people? Is there, if in one organization, my boss and the culture around the organization is that people shout at each other, abuse each other. New organization, is the culture any different? So while people want to move from one place to other because they are unhappy, because they are stressed, when they move, good number of times they again get into similar kind of culture, and after landing up there, they again realize this is not any different. Now, when you reach into that situation, you are actually, I mean, आसमान से गिर के खजूर में अटके, that kind of approach. So you're not changing for better, but you're actually complicating the matter, and you're getting into vicious circle. One or two wrong moves then derails your career. If you consecutively change 2 3 jobs at a 1 2 years frequency, then obviously your progress and what you can do in your career gets limited. You will not be able to realize the potential what you can, because middle management and above at a leadership level, more and more organizations want people who are stable, while people who are wanting to grow into leadership level, yeah, people who are aspiring for that role is a large number. And if you don't think through and plan your career choices appropriately, it will lead to a situation wherein your career will get derailed. If you're joining the organization, if you're not enjoying the organization, you're not enjoying the culture, obviously you're not enjoying the culture, you're not putting your best, you're not taking ownership and accountability of the work which is given, you are wanting to move from that place. Now, when you're wanting to move out of a place, obviously it impacts your performance. If you're not engaged, it will impact your performance. Obviously, then it will lead to situations wherein your peers, your juniors are moving ahead of you. I strongly believe capability almost all people have. Each and every person is capable, but each and every person is different, and each and every organization is also different. A person can do well in a particular culture. He has to understand what kind of culture I can fit into, what kind of environment I can flourish, and he has to then identify right culture, right organization where he can culturally fit. If you culturally fit, in case if you are taking up a job wherein you are doing it first time, if you have capability, you can adopt, you can learn and do well. So cultural fitment is the most important thing which an individual has to focus on. Am I getting into an organization which is right organization for me? It should not be only that I have to change because I'm not happy. So that's very, very important. This I mentioned, the business leaders are under stress because board members and shareholders are pushing them. Now, there are very small fraction of leaders who convert that stress into positive energy. Most of the leaders try and put that stress in a manner wherein it doesn't create a comfortable ecosystem for people to perform. As I said, there are some people who, like entrepreneurs, they convert that aggressive expectation into positive energy. You have sports person who put a aggressive target for a gold medal and they convert it into positive energy. Very few leaders are able to convert aggressive expectations in a positive energy and create a very cohesive, happy culture and happy ecosystem. Now, so in nutshell, what happens is, while there are brilliant, intelligent people, very few of them are able to realize their potential. And I have seen, and I can give you examples, people who are from similar pedigree, similar background, academic background, and you can also introspect for yourself. If you look at your batchmates and schoolmates, you will see a very wide range of people. For example, after 20 years of experience, you may have people having package from 10, 15, 20 lakhs to 5, 6 crores. And if you look at introspect, Not necessarily people who are the most intelligent people are at the top. So all this is leading to very suboptimal potential realization for individuals, and it further leads to stress because you're potential, you're capable, but you're also seeing your friends doing extremely well, and then again you're again get into a negative cycle. Yeah, we can go to the next. Sorry. Yeah. Now let us understand why is this all happening, and in this, given this entire situation, how do you really look at it? How do you really think of managing it? How do you really try and find solutions around it? If I look at people who have been happy and successful, which is very small fraction, as I said, I have seen people who are having clarity in life are the ones who do things in a very planned way, in a very patient way. And while they are going through the journey, they enjoy the journey, they are happy, and they are able to achieve, yeah, maximize their potential. Overall, people who are clear in what they want to do in life and what they want to achieve in life, those are the people who will be more focused and who will achieve more and who will be more happy. But unfortunately, I mean, if good number of times I ask a very pet question to most of the professionals. Uh, if I ask anybody, what is your purpose in life? Most of the times you get a 10-15 second pause and people try and really look and realize that they really don't have clarity. Very few people have clarity as to what is my purpose of life. You get very vague answers when you ask people what is your purpose in life, and then you have to really ask deeper questions, engage with them at a much more deeper level in sessions and discussions, which over a period of multiple layers of onion peeling and thinking, then it might lead, like for example, what makes you happy most? These kind of simple questions, if you introspect and reflect and start imbibing, what is that makes me happy most, what is my purpose in life, that will help people to really understand what they are, who they are, and what are their objectives and what is that they want to achieve in life. Most of the people are chasing materialistic things: larger house, bigger car, larger salary, more materialistic things, laptop, ipad, foreign trips. Now all these also things lead to a situation wherein if something goes wrong, then it leads to tremendous stress. For example, if somebody has bought a huge, and I've come across this kind of situation, people have bought a huge house on EMI, very costly car, luxury car on EMI, and suddenly there's a corporate challenge and the person individual loses a job. Now, the moment you lose a job, and if you have your lifestyle is at a stage wherein there are so much of financial outlays which are happening, it leads to tremendous stress. So I think uh, people are largely driven by materialistic things. They are not doing proper planning on financial goals, career goals, family goals, health and happiness. Very few people really have a clear cut, charted out career strategy and a career plan. They want to grow. Everybody, I mean, the objective is that I want to grow, I want to do well. But what sectors I will do well, what organizations I can do well, what functions I'll do well, what culture, what kind of organizations I'll do well. Do I want to join the organization which is a startup? Do I want to join an organization which is not a startup but a stable organization? Can I work in a promoter-led organization? Can I work in a... So all that clarity, while people want to, there's so many people, because the way market is today, reach out to us and they want to change jobs. Yeah, they have already lost a job. Now, I can give you, I mean, a classic example is when a executive search, we are in executive search also. In executive search, when we reach out to middle management and senior management people with more than 15 years experience, if we have an assignment and a job, which is with a known organization, and if we call 10 people, 9 out of 10 people will say, I'm open. Now that actually is a very sad state, because then people are saying there is another opportunity, I'm willing to jump, but it also indicates that I'm not clear as to what I want to do in life. So having clarity on career, having career goals, having career strategy and a plan, that is big time missing. All the business professionals I've seen, when they have to prepare a budget, annual business plan for any function, whether it's HR, marketing, sales, operation, they will spend enough and more time to prepare that budget and prepare a plan. But when it is coming to their own career plan and strategy, very, very few people really do deep thinking and understand what it takes to build a successful career, understand the nuances of around career, understand nuances around the decisions which they take, and prepare a career plan and a strategy. Equally true is in even on family goals. I mean, you want to have a bigger house, you want to send your children to a particular kind of school, but is your child really wanting to do what you are wanting to impose? If you have to buy a larger house, what kind of financial pressure it can put on you? Do you want to really buy and take a right decision at right time? Is buying a house a right decision? In which city is the right decision? I have seen people wherein their children are in 8th and 9th class, and they take up a job which is in other city. You are in Bombay, you take a job in Bangalore, and in Monday to Friday you are traveling on your job. Weekend you're coming and spending time with your family. Now, if your children are in critical stage of life and they have to be guided properly and nurtured properly, and if you're taking these career decisions, imagine the kind of equation and pressure it can put on your partner, your children. You are actually not able to spend quality time with family. I have seen very few people who put family first. While they'll mention that family is important, family is most important, but when it comes to career, people take career decisions without taking family into consideration. Career decisions are taken without understanding family priorities. Your parents are old, do you really want to move to other city? Yeah, do you want to move to a city where you can take your parents along and all other family members along? Are you really taking a career decision which where family also will be comfortable in that city, in that those schools your children will be comfortable? So that clarity on family goals as to what are my children's goal, what is my partner's goal, spouse goal, what is my goal. If there's thinking and if you have clarity, then while you're planning your career also, you can take that into proper consideration. And if you are giving enough and due consideration for your family goals, then you will do justice to your career also, because you can't have family members unhappy and be successful at career. As I said, both family part and career part are very, very, very much interlinked. You can't be successful in one and not being successful in another. Then it will lead to stress. So if you have to ensure that you are happy and successful, you have to have proper planning for family also and family goals also. Similarly, is financial goals. Now, now money is important. Undoubtedly, money is important. But how do you really plan your finances in terms of investments, in terms of buying assets, in terms of your expenses? Most of the times, people overspend and they're leveraging beyond a point. If you're leveraging yourself more and your expenses are more, uh, if there's a challenge on a professional front, it can lead to tremendous pressure on family. And see, I'll tell you, downsizing, restructuring is now going to be a norm. While with technology and there can be disruptions in software, and there can be exodus and there can be mass layoffs is one part. But as we said, even in corporate world, companies are getting bought, businesses are getting wiped out. So downsizing, restructuring is going to be part of professionals now. It is going to be part of professional life. So one has to factor in that there's a good chance that I am doing well, but I might lose job because my company might shut down. So people are not factoring those things. People are not factoring challenges and issues which are beyond their control. Our other aspect is health and I mean, most important thing. what each and every one of us has to realize, that is sir salamat to pagdi pachas. Are we really focusing on our own health? You see, your own body is your temple. If your own health and different systems in your body are not performing to the mark, you will compromise on a lot of areas. And most of the times, all of us take our health as granted. We don't realize that our health is extremely important. Any small change in any of our system, whether it is respiratory system, a nervous system, skeletal system, any small change, things here and there, and it can impact your health immensely. I mean, how many people are very disciplined? On 31st December, there are a good number of people who will make a pledge, but that at best, I mean, clear-cut indicator, I can tell you, in all the gyms, uh, in Jan, first 3 weeks, you'll see a lot of people coming there and trying to do it. But post third, fourth week, immediately again, it comes back to the original level of membership, yeah, members coming on a regular basis. All these gyms take 4x 5x of their membership. See, they know that people will take membership, but only 20 15 20% after paying will come. So people who take initiative to pay, but then again they are still not able to stay committed to their own thing, to their own health and well-being. So this, we are again getting into the circle without clarity, reactive decisions, and regrets later. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Now, what I think and what we believe is, if you have clarity in life, if you plan things properly, if you are really wanting to be happy, it is very, very important that you get clarity on your own self, you get clarity on your own priorities. Your own health has to be in the best shape. First is you yourself. That is the most important pillar, because everything revolves around you. If your own well-being, if your own health, own emotional and well-being is in the best place, then you can support all other aspects. You can first be very rock solid pillar for your own family. So first and foremost pillar is your own self. Next important pillar is your family, because after you is your parents, your children, your partner. If these two pillars are solid and in good shape, everything can be achieved. Because for a capable person, if he is in a good shape, mentally, emotionally, physically, and if his all family members also are in a good shape, then everything can be achieved, everything can be planned, and it can lead to a happy situation. So physical well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being of self first, and then family is the most important thing which people have to focus. And there are no compromises here. And for this, it will require discipline, it will require clarity, it will require your own commitment. See, your own commitment for yourself to become happy is the most critical thing to handle stress. While you know that you are stressed, if you don't handle yourself properly, and if you're not staying committed to your own self, external people, external help may not be of much help. So if you have to handle stress, first stay committed to yourself, first stay determined to be yourself, being very strong mentally, physically, and emotionally. That is first part. Then be clear, bring in clarity for yourself and for your family. What is my career goal? What is my career plan? What is my career strategy? Get as much clarity as you can. What first about your own self, then about your own career, your own plan, then about your family, then your family members' plans, family members' goals. Understand those. Sit and bring in clarity around that. It is good idea to really bring absolute clarity and put down these goals and objectives on paper and have very healthy discussions with all the family members, so that everybody knows each other, everybody knows whose priority are what, and they respect each other and respect each other's priorities. It is important to be proactive, plan, be proactive, then reactive. If you're not going to plan, if you're not going to be proactive, and if you're not going to strategize, and if you're only going to be reactive, it is definitely going to lead to stress. Another very, very important thing, which is very important for now onwards, is going to be learn and unlearn, because things are changing so rapidly. Earlier days, All India rank, yeah, I am Ahmedabad degree was supposed to be the best thing for a person to be successful in life. With ChatGPT 5 and all that, degrees and academic relevance is definitely going to go down. It will remain, I mean, it will not go totally down, but what will be more important is your emotional well-being, mental well-being. People who are able to handle themselves emotionally properly, mentally properly, and who are physically fit after having capability are likely to do well. People who are very intelligent, very bright, but are not emotionally stable, mentally stable, despite being very, very capable and having best of the degrees, might not necessarily will be able to successful and be happy. So things are changing very, very rapidly. It is for elderly people, it is important to learn AI and technology. They can't be staying behind. Otherwise, you will become absolute. So whatever was relevant in past, not necessarily is going to be relevant in future. On family values, now it is world of nuclear families. Now it is world of having single child. Now after having a single child, you might have a family might have 2 children, but external world, all of them are single child. So within that ecosystem, how can you create a approach wherein a single child also is born and brought up in a certain way? He learns flexibility, adaptability, he knows how to fail, he knows how to stand up. So with changing times, how do you really enable all the stakeholders to learn, unlearn, and relearn? AI and technology, yeah, software, yeah, new age tools which are coming, it is important to adopt, because if you don't adapt and somebody else is going to adopt, then that person will have an advantage and a benefit. So learning and unlearning is extremely important and critical as we go ahead. Building resilience, this piece is going to be extremely important. Not resist the change, accept, embrace the change, accept failures, accept challenges, problems, not resist. Build resilience on your emotional well-being, mental well-being through different tools, whether it is yoga, whether it is meditation, whether it is spirituality, whether it is physical well-being. But it is very, very important to invest time on yourself, which allows you to be physically strong, which allows you to be mentally and emotionally strong. Irrespective of challenges and upheaval happening across in micro and macro environment, you should be able to still be able to take a helicopter 30,000 feet view and see what is happening to me. How should I handle myself? Because if I handle myself properly, then I can handle the situation much in a much more better way. So these are very, very core and very, very important things for one to handle stress and manage yourself properly and be more happy and successful. We can go to the next slide, Ravi. This, as I said, old skills are definitely fading away. We cannot talk about joint family and old values. We have to understand world is changing, new values are coming. How do we, within that framework, how do we learn to enjoy? How do we really mold ourselves to maximize on new skills and new opportunities? Earlier days, opportunities were less. Now, with technology, new opportunities are coming up. Old opportunities are evaporating. Coding as a profession, if it is going to go, engineers will have to think of how do I now pivot myself to take advantage of new opportunities. It's not world is I mean, it will be a flux for maybe 2 3 years, and people who are able to adopt and learn fast can really bounce back and do further well. How can one see an opportunity in an adversity and convert adversity in an opportunity is very, very important. Unlearning is going to be extremely important. Being adaptable, being curious, open to Learn from youngsters, because today youngsters know much more than elderly people. Information knowledge is easily accessible across the globe, and these younger generation people are able to use these tools and access that knowledge. So some of the good things which youngsters are doing, it is very important. Even the elderly people, are people in 70s 80s, how can they really learn? See, on one hand, life expectancy is going up, and on the other hand, technology is changing fast. So when your life expectancy is going up, understandably you have this approach: how do I unlearn and how do I learn new things? How do I stay relevant? How do I update myself? For an individual to become remain happy, if he is not learning and unlearning, it is going to be extremely difficult. Adaptability and flexibility, learning and unlearning are going to be extremely crucial in the changing times for professionals to stay relevant, succeed at a personal level and also at a family level. It's extremely important. Yeah, next slide. Now, as professionals, I mean, when whether it is a family situation or a professional situation, as I said, leaders set a tone. There are leaders who respond, have a very different reaction to the same stimulus, same situation, different leaders react very differently. And leaders who are going to be calm, leaders who are going to ensure that their teams remain calm, ensure that their teams look forward to come to office. Those basic principles of happy culture will remain same. But with the changing dynamics, how a leader needs to be more calm and create that ecosystem of happy and looking forward to go to office culture, it is going to be much more challenging, and one leader will have to be very innovative. He has to be calm. At the same time, he has to be very innovative. Today, you have youngsters who are coming with a very different value system. 25, 30 years age group is behaving very differently. Age group of 50 to 60 is behaving very differently, and age group of 40 to 50 is behaving very differently. So for leaders, it is extremely challenging to create a cohesive ecosystem wherein all age groups, because any organization will have different age groups. So all the age groups come together as a team and they create a very happy and a positive culture. If the focus is on people, what I've seen is focus is on what is right for people and what is right for each and every group. Then leaders are able to find out better solutions. One size fit all, yeah, one size will not fit all to all the age groups. At times, organizations and leaders will have to see how can they really work towards customizing each individual's need. And if you are coming forward, if organization is building empathetic culture, then those organizations are likely, because as it is, individuals are stressed, and if they feel that organization is enabling me and organization is where my stress actually gets released, then organizations, yeah, leaders will be able to build a very cohesive, happy ecosystem wherein people will look forward to come to office and will look forward to help and enable each other. How do you build culture of enabling each other? Competition is important, but competition at any cost versus healthy competition. And how do you not build a culture of toxic peer pressure but enabling peer pressure is very important. Leaders who are going to be in rush and who are not calm will lead to a toxic culture. Culture of patience, perseverance, learning, inclusiveness, staying together, that kind of culture is very important. And also, leaders need to appreciate and understand needs of people. Earlier days, people used to join the organization and stay with the organization throughout life. That anyway is not going to happen. Duration of professionals in organization is 4 5 years. That is going down. Expectations are changing at a family level, personal level. So within that time, how does one really create a culture which is allowing people to look forward to come to office and be happy in the organization is going to be very important. And I have seen organizations which have good culture are able to attract good quality talent at much lesser cost. There are people, I'm sure you must be knowing, that they leave the organization, but they, after going in other places, realize that it's a mistake, they come back to the organizations. So leaders who are successful in building right cultures, because nowadays capital is easily available. If you are able to get good quality people and stay with the organization for a longer duration, you will be able to really build a solid culture and a successful, as a leader also you will be successful. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. I think we are running so another 5 minutes. I'll try and wrap up uh, balance slides. Ravi, you can go to the next slide. Now these are, I mean, and all these steps actually, if you look at every each one of us knows daily well-being, proper sleep, focusing on 7 hours kind of a sleep, 7 to 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, minimum 6 hours kind of a sleep, regular physical exercise, being aware and being mindful about what you're speaking and what you're not speaking. We are now almost 24 by 7 on net and connected, but how do you really free yourself? Family time, professional time, how do you try and segregate those areas? How do you reignite your connections with your family members, community? One of the things which I have seen is, if you really have good mentors, whether personal, professional, uh, earlier days, our grandfather, yeah, some senior cousin, yeah, some senior uncle on family front used to be our mentor. Now that mentor is missing. In corporate world, some organizations provide mentors, but I have seen a good seasoned mentor who have been there and done that. That kind of a person can actually really help the individual to calm and can really add immense value. He, from his learning, can give a lot of insights and inputs for a professional on his professional journey. But while there's a professional journey mentorship required, I personally believe what is required is 360-degree mentorship and coaching on family front and also professional front. So mentors can definitely make huge impact, and people should definitely have seek out right mentors. While when people are getting stressed, they are taking medical help that can help temporarily, but in long run, if one has to have a sustainable long term solution, then having a good mentor is a very good idea. And then it can, I mean, the person can be really a guiding light. For example, I mean, in sports, as I said, when people are taking stretch target, almost all successful sports person have a very good coach, and that coach is guiding that individual. The individual is having burning aspiration. Coach is actually just a facilitator, a catalyst, a person who can show a mirror to the individual. And people who have right coach obviously then are able to do well. Same goes here also, but professionals, yeah, working people, yeah, anybody, it is important to have someone who can be your guide or a mentor. Learn to be happy with what you have. It is very, very important to be ambitious, but at the same time, enjoying today and enjoying current is very important. Be grateful for what you have. I think uh, that will change your perspective, because if you are happy today, then you can do better. You will be able to give your best. Gratitude within your own self can dramatically help you to reduce your stress levels. While you're ambitious, you're wanting more, and if those things are not coming in at the speed which you want, if you're happy with what you have, also can give you a balancing feel, and you will still work towards achieving those things. So gratitude and introspection, reflection are very, very important things. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. We discuss this, what is happening in currently in India, AI, software, job losses, uh, and currently situations moving across, the way global shift is happening, the way industry shift is happening. There are a lot of challenges around. So in this kind of challenging, ever changing, fast changing environment, how do you stay anchored? How do you stay calm? How do you focus on your own emotional, mental well-being first, on your family? If these two pillars are taken care, then rest all things will fall in place. So, I mean, in nutshell, I think what I believe is, stress is, you are responsible for your own stress. If you learn to handle the stress, you start taking bull by the horns, you will be able to calm the bull, and you'll enjoy the ride. You'll enjoy today, you'll enjoy with your family, you'll enjoy with yourself, and you'll have a happy and a successful life. That's very, very important. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell. I think we have 15-20 minutes for Q&A, and I now open it for discussion. uh, So if you people have any questions, queries, happy to take questions, any comments, it is open for discussion.
Hi, Sandeep. This side Omkesh actually. I have one question. I have a
Yes.
scenario actually. Like it's a real scenario actually. It
Mhm.
happened to, like, you can assume to me or one of my friend, you can say. So like this friend of mine, he had a very good job. He
Okay.
was like, he was handling multiple projects. He was a project manager, and he was acting as the technology head for those projects, and he was handling the strategies for that project and the vision for that projects. He
Okay.
had the vision for the mind for like 8 to 10 years, that how he's going to build that company into billion-dollar companies
Right.
actually. And these projects were with the like billion-dollar company also. Like it's a 70-year-old company, it's a family business, and it's a, like, you can say on par with like Aditya Birla Group and others.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not naming that company actually.
Okay.
So
Don't do
what
that.
happened actually after work, like in 1 year, he successfully like was able to like build those projects from scratch, to
Okay.
able to run with a team. He had a very good team actually, very good support and everything. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that he remained was that the job was in Kolkata, and like he was in Delhi. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the family was in Delhi.
Mm.
His family was in Delhi, so he was working there alone in Kolkata,
Right.
and he got burned out actually.
Right.
So he got his situation got worse. Like he left the job to take
Mm-hmm.
some rest actually
Mm-hmm.
from the job, to get better in health and uh, in mental health also.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happened that he expected that he's going to get better. He came to Delhi with his family. His family was in Delhi,
Mm-hmm.
and he met like many doctors later. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, his situation got worse.
Right.
So like he was deeply involved in the project and all that. So what could be the reason that his situation got worse, like after coming to, because his family was there which he was missing, which he told me. And but his project was there which he left the job. And so what could be the reason that he like he took the pills actually after a
Mm.
while actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mr. Sandesh,
Um,
please go ahead. He would like to respond to your question.
okay.
You are on mute. You are on mute. Mr. Sandesh, you are on mute.
Yeah, yeah. So this situation which you just explained, is it still there or is no more?
Actually, this person, like this scenario happened about exactly 2 years before, 2 years, 3 months before. And the
Uh,
person, uh, like in Feb 2024, his
hmm,
situation got even worse actually. Then he met the doctors, he took the pills, he met the
mm-hmm,
doctors later, before he
mm-hmm,
was taking some like help and all that. And
mm-hmm,
he's now like, after 1 year, like in Feb on March 2025, he felt
mm-hmm.
better actually. He felt better, but he took some pills which like had some side effects and all that.
Right.
The current situation is that he feel anxiety a lot. Like if he's
Mm-hmm,
going to, like, he has joined a startup. He's going to a
mm-hmm,
startup, and he's working there. He has two projects as of now. He's working as a project manager. He has good product to build. But
mm-hmm.
while he's working, going there. He has joined in Noida, I believe. So
Fantastic.
he's going there. His situation is, he's feeling better when
But
he's
but
going
he's
to the
in
job.
anxiety. That's what you said. He's feeling better, but
Yeah,
he's still in anxiety. That's
yeah,
what
he's
his
feeling.
problem. So what we are I am going to talk about is how we can work on that particular anxiety and why there is an anxiety still. So I will answer your question why he went into that very bad situation. Because see, all of, I mean, 80-90% of the executives today are in high pressure jobs because there is a demand on them. And as India as a country is having a huge opportunity to grow, so aspirations of corporates, individuals are skyrocketing. We don't have a culture of working efficiently, but we have a culture of working for more time. I mean, people don't work for 8 hours or 6 hours, they work for 12 hours and 14 hours or even 18 hours sometimes. Now that's a culture, unfortunately, which is not a right culture. If you see, none of the Europeans will work for more than 6 to 8 hours in a day. Okay. But what they do in 6 to 8 hours is much more than what an Indian does in a week's time. I have worked with Europeans many times over, and I've seen that. So, first thing, what I wanted to tell you why he went into a bad physical and mental health, because he didn't, develop a team which is going to take or share his pressure. And probably he was a person who was trying to take all pressure himself. That could be one of the. I'm only imagining. I'm just imagining few things and saying this. Now, after going back to the family, he started recovering a bit and all that. Right now, he's working on some startups, and but still there is that anxiety. Now, that anxiety is a part of his habit, which he has developed over a period of so many years. I mean, he had a habit of taking stress. Now, when somebody takes a stress for a longer period of time, natural thing what comes into his psyche or physics is anxiety. Anxiety is quite natural to such people who work like this. So now how we can work on anxiety is something which I would like to talk about, which if you also feel is right, you can reach out to that particular
Uh,
person.
Mr. Sandesh,
Yeah,
I would request you to pause here. I'll tell you
yeah,
what
yeah.
if I think what I'm just adding here. Why the situation, the gentleman is capable. He was doing very well on the projects. He was successful. He was having a very good team also. But I think what we need to understand is his family was in Delhi and he was in Calcutta. And if he was in Calcutta, he's being in two different locations. That in itself would have started building friction and fissures in his relationship with family also. And see, each and every individual seeks positive energy. You get drained out at work, and when you go back at home, there has to be energy which comes into you. You get rejuvenated. Now, I have seen like exactly this kind of situation. There are a lot of professionals who take this kind of decisions. A good role, good job, challenging role, but it is in a different city. Now, when you're taking up these jobs, obviously you're enjoying the role, you're performing, you're a good professional, but it starts taking toll in your emotional well-being because when you come back to the hotel, yeah, when you come back to the room, you are again not able to go with the same energy level. You will pull yourself for few years or few quarters, but if it is continuous process where you are not getting positive energy, you are not rejuvenating, that is one of the challenges when people take jobs in different cities and you get into that situation. If your relationship with your partner starts spoiling because your children are in critical stage, you're not giving them time, children are expecting time from you, and when you go on a weekend, if you're not there entire week, then your children, the way they deal with you will be different. Your partner will lead deal with you in a different way. You and that equation I see matlab, also being impacting emotional and mental well-being of a person, and hence I always advise all the professionals, family should be first. However good, however challenging the job is, see whether it is good for you and your family first. If it is not, please don't compromise on these two first, because and I mean there might be some other reasons also, and when you come back after 1 year, when he has come back and taken a break, damage is already done. Damage is already done. You are trying to then recover from that and then take corrective actions. Again, you have joined a startup, which again will have a high pressure job. So I thought I'll just add, Mr. Sandesh.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, I understand this particular point relating to family being at one location and individuals are at other locations. But my point is very different. My point is you have made a choice. While making the choice itself, you would have thought about all kinds of things. You're a mature individual. You're in a leadership role. You're not a kid. So you when you see what happens many times you make wrong choices and you go into a stress. So while making choice itself, and once you make a choice, then you also should know as a matured individual and a leader that what adjustments you will have to make and what adjustments your family will have to make. So it is I would rather always, I mean, this examples also tells us what choices we make has also a deep connection to the stress that you get and the stress management that you have to do. Now,
Absolutely.
having said that, that he has got this habit and of getting into an anxiety, which is over a period of time, whatever reasons it has been developed. I would like to talk about couple of minutes on what he can do and how he should come over the anxiety.
Yes, please.
Now, yeah, so the anxiety comes because you are habitual. First of all, he has to, break that particular habit of getting into anxiety. Not necessary every time the anxiety may be coming to this person because of high pressure jobs. It is just the nature that he has developed. A small things also might be disturbing him, and that is also might be getting anxiety into his mindset and troubling him in his work as well as behavior and communication and everything. So first what he has to do is he has to always look at situation not from himself. He has to take out his soul from his body, place it about 20-30 meters away up there, and look at the situation differently. That's one thing, what we call it as looking into a situation from a third party. What do I will call it as a neutral view. And then think, once you think in that particular manner, then you think very differently than when you are thinking from your own point of view, and then your behavior, communication and everything becomes different, and probably the anxiety can go. Second thing what he can do is he has to immediately join a class for meditation, deep breathing and meditation. Now, whenever in office or family or anywhere for any person, you get into, there will be always different people will be there and there will be arguments and stress and anxieties. Whenever this happens with you for more than 10 minutes, what you should do is first of all, you should withdraw from the situation, get into another room, close the door, and do immediately meditation and deep breathing, which you have learned from a proper trainer. Calm your nerves. See, if you keep your nerves in a very heightened stress manner, then even there is a possibility of nerves getting damaged. So he has to come out of anxiety or a stress immediately. Within 10 minutes, he will know that he is getting into anxiety because his shoulders will start getting tingling, his breathing becomes much faster,
Sandesh,
his heart.
can I request one thing? Because this is
Yeah.
only first question. If you can finish in 30-40 seconds, then other
Yeah,
people
yeah,
also will
yeah.
have a
So,
question.
so these two things, there are a lot of other, and again, each of these things, what I'm suggesting actually is not a general thing. We have to look at the talk to the individual and give. So I'll end my discussion here. Couple of things which I have told you. One is the training from a meditation expert, and second is think from a third angle. These two things probably can help him. But there are individualistic methods of how we can manage stress in an individual. So by only talking to that person, I can suggest specific. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sandesh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any further questions? Any comments? Any questions?
Hi, Sandeep. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
My question to you is suppose someone going through extreme level of stress, he passed all the level, he crossed all the levels, he is
Mm-hmm.
in the neck of the moment. People taking wrong decisions, killing themselves, running away from family, kind of thing. So, what
Right.
exactly the person has to think that particular time to come out from that situation? How to recover from that 5 minutes time only, right? It will all that he can all that happens in that 5 minutes. So my question is that.
Yeah, but I think what you're saying is, Vignesh, in extreme situation when people are taking decisions, how do really people avoid those extreme situations? Like, for example, father killing his own daughter. I mean, in recently last few weeks, and this girl was a sports person. This happened in Delhi, and she was doing well in the sports, and he in the heat of the moment, really killed his daughter. Now, so this largely happens because in that last 30 seconds, of 1 minute fraction of a second, the person is not able to really think what he's acting on. He's acting, but he's really not understanding the consequences of the act which he's doing. Whether he's running away from the family, whether he's killing himself, yeah, taking poison, yeah, I mean, creating the damage which is irreparable. So that I think that also happens when you have reached a peak. I mean, it is at a situation wherein the situation is out of control. When you are not when you're taking that kind of action, it is situation out of control because you're not able to think. So that's the extreme situation. I think that when pressure is adding up, people have to really introspect and reflect how your emotions are changing, how is pressure getting add up, and not wait for that last moment where in that situation you are not able to think, but you should actually start working on yourself much before that, and not wait, because the human mind behaves a certain way beyond a point. If the situation reaches, you stop thinking and just act. That's how human mind behaves. So I mean, I think proactively being proactive and not reactive is what is very important. The moment there's some pressure which is building on you, it is important to be proactive. If your health is not in good shape, if you start you're not able to climb steps, and if your breath is catching up, then you have to go to the doctor and take corrective actions, and not wait for the heart attack to happen and allow it to be fatal. So I think being proactive is very important, and not allowing the situation to reach a stage wherein you lose your thinking process only. That's how I would look at it. Yeah, we
We answered you.
Vignesh, I hope you've got some perspective.
Yeah. I
Uh,
got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
got it? No, so good. We can go to the next one.
yeah. So we have another 10 minutes, and we can
Okay.
take few more questions and few more. Yeah, if anybody is wanting to say something, we have another 10 minutes. Shubhayu, you would like to add something to whatever we have
Yeah,
discussed?
yeah. Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks, Sandesh. Very insightful. No, I think from the deck, Sandeep, one for me, the most critical takeaway was that stress is normally due to external factors. The moment we externalize our problems is where the stress starts. The moment we are able to own and look at what we can do for our energies, our mind shifts to action rather than hypothesis and imagination, because most of stress is imagined and it's not really